a very well-developed plan that has been communicated to many of the leadership of the world and to including political leaders, all kinds of leaders worldwide, and many people are picking this up, telepathically in their meditations. There is this huge shift going on. People are talking about it in various degrees of understanding, but I have been given a very specific, detailed explanation of exactly what's happening, what's planned, and where it's all going. We are, in a process where the cabal, who has had tremendous control over the financial system and with all that money over the political system, as you all know, it's becoming clearer and clearer. But their power is steadily waning. They're being stopped in many of these activities. Many of their plots and schemes and things they are doing have been exposed. And the galactics are increasingly active on our planet. For instance, they did neutralize all the radiation from Fukushima. They are planning on allowing a complete reorganization and helping to facilitate a reorganization of our financial systems and our political systems so that the whole way that the finance is organized, including debt-based, interest-based money, will be eliminated. All previous debt is going to be eliminated, and we will enter a period when free energy is present. Ultimately, we will move towards a system where money is no longer necessary. That is the direction we're going. We're not, right. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's in process. And many agreements have been already set up amongst the nations. The whole BRICS new alliance, where they're offering to lend money to developing countries. And that's the BRICS are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They are working together with this new investment fund to provide money at a much more reasonable basis to developing countries. Much of this whole system is going to be radically changed as we go forward. But all of us who have money that we have legitimately earned or come by without illegal or distorted activity will be allowed to remain with us. But those who have gotten huge, incalculable sums of money from gaming the system, manipulating the financial system, doing all the stuff that the cabal has been doing for millennia, but certainly for centuries, all of that will be recovered and will be distributed in the world for the upliftment and the development of food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, everything that everyone on this planet needs to do well and to have a decent life. That is part of the plan, and it is very, very specific and very clear. Now, there's a lot going on with, we ask ourselves, how are we ever going to get beyond this tremendous resistance that we see everywhere in the world? And, anything that good that ever is done, immediately the cabal's all over it and tries to suppress it or distort it or manipulate it however they can. And that includes free energy. It includes all kinds of new health modalities that are available and everything else. This system is going to be completely transformed and transfigured. That is part of the plan that's already underway and in place. And of course, the Asian Infrastructure Bank I mentioned earlier is part of the beginnings of the emergence of that plan. There's much planning going on about how we're going to handle the currencies. There will be a new currency issued, which will be worldwide, backed by gold and other commodities, which will be universal. All national currencies will be convertible in and out of that world currency, so that there will be a stabilization of the whole financial picture. So we won't have this manipulation and playing around with all the money systems in order to reap gigantic profits that the financial elites have done. And it's completely immoral, and it's not going to continue. That's part of the plan as well. There's going to be a whole new reorganization of the political system, and there will be new criteria for running for office. So that people who will be eligible to run for any office will have to be able to show or prove in some way that they have the capacity to fairly represent the people's interests of those they are supposed to be representing. And if they cannot prove that or not, and if they've had any dealings where they have manipulated or stolen or misused their power, they will be completely ineligible for office anywhere in the world. That's part of the that's part of the goes along with the financial.
It's about time.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it seems now. I know this all can sound so out there compared to where we are in the world, but the reality is that there is a tremendous amount of movement going on in the world right now towards this goal. I mean, and you see it in all the exposés coming out about all the secret programs and all the secret dealings and doings that are going on everywhere. All this stuff coming out is beginning to, it is weakening the power of the control forces, the cabal. Right. They are losing power tremendously. I mean, the fact that many of the inventors of free energy systems have now come forward and are making those inventions known and public and available on the internet, because they see that previously they would have been totally persecuted by the cabal if they had done that. Now they have seen that that power for them to be able to do that and hold that, suppress and control is fading. They do not have the same power they had before. And therefore these many inventors, many other whistleblowers and all kinds of people are coming out and sharing so much information that it's no longer possible to hide all of this stuff. You know, sunlight is the best disinfectant. And so here we have sunlight pouring in and showing what's going on in so many of these different areas. And that's part of this whole new cycle that we're entering into.
Thank you for that. And you know what, Gordon? I'm glad the